Ni Macho ni Masani Madekwana, street vendor here, and welcome to yet another episode with myself, street vendor. Now I'm going to join Wanga Lebu from THUD. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Rukambanga cooperative governance, the township market, franchising, and the power of coming together as a united front, particularly black people, and buying of franchises. With that giving you guys so much detail, let's get to it. My brother, Ujang.
Easy. You?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think it just give people a brief description of who you are. Can you just tell us more about who is really we are busy
Yeah. Ulebo was a guy who grew up in Hillbrow.
Okay.
I'm that guy who connects dots, and through connecting dots, we are able to do many things.
Okay.
One of them has been connecting entrepreneurs across the African continent and providing development services for them through corporates. So we work with clients like AB InBev, banks, and government agencies. And basically, it's about moving the culture of entrepreneurship forward, building communities that are transactional, and as well as being able to help build markets and fund those entrepreneurs as they access those markets.
Oh, I see. Oh, nice. No, sounds like you got your hands filled up with all these great initiatives, my guy. Because like you said, does not help me to have a market that's open and I don't have any cash for me to be able to deliver in that. But without wasting any more time, something magnificent happened on the 1st of December, if not 30th. 1st of December, no?
Yeah.
1st of December, you guys opened a franchise, a Pinone. Can you tell us more about that and how it came about? So for you guys to actually have, how much is the franchise? 1.5 million. Yeah. Can you just tell us more about that?
So we've got a vision. We want to build 100 stores over the next 5 years.
Okay.
And franchising is one of the best routes to take for us right now. And part of the reason for that is that we've got a dynamic team. We've got Batabile, who's the franchisee or franchise expert. We've got myself, who's the crowdfunding guru. We've got Tepo, who's got the technology platform for collecting the money. We've got Bade Salingolo, who's the cooperative governance systems education expert. So bringing these different forces together, we've made it easier for us to get together and actually have a conversation that's aligned. And Batabile's had this vision since 2016. And I've been running THUD for the last 8 years across the African continent, and it became easy. The one side, we can easily work with entrepreneurs and people who get the vision, and when you look at our events, majority of the people that often attend are working professionals, and people who run side hustles and things like that. So when we finally decided to get together and get this thing going in early June, it was the perfect time for launching in a time when there was a crisis with COVID. And we're like, hey, let's do this thing, if we can do it through the Stokvel model, because Tsepo's platform already does that, and we already tested it with the People Stokvel. We're building a bank behind that, and we've got about 1,800 members. We've been collecting like $100 every month, and we are funding purchase orders using that through our crowdfunding platform called the People's Fund. So we were like, so we've learned this, and we've done close to $250 million, in fact over $250 million in enabling funding for black entrepreneurs. What more can we do with this, And then the crowdfunding space for franchising was the perfect one, because you enable black people to participate meaningfully by thinking ownership through Stokvels, buying into assets, and us as the management team helping to manage those assets and enabling many more people to participate meaningfully in the space.
Yeah. Hey, I know. I'm sitting here, I'm consuming all of this. I'm like, you know what? You are making perfect sense, I saw that as a lot of entrepreneurs. Myself, I'm guilty of that, We feel like if I run by myself, we figure out fast and so on. Need to corner, But one thing we forgot to actually tell ourselves and practice the fact that as a collective, we can achieve more, because like you say, you bring different experts into this vision which you guys have, and alone as Leo, you can achieve that because you don't have the other expertise. And then now, with the whole crowdfunding, which is very, very, very dope, I gotta say, you know, we all know for the longest of time, black people have been excluded within the mainstream economy, you know, and you find a way to say, instead of just buying a grocery, Stokvel, how about we buy that, we buy franchises, and it was like, each franchise owned by 100 people, correct?
Yeah, each franchise is owned by 100 people. Each person collects 15,500 rand.
Okay.
That makes up 1.5 million.
Okay.
That means, look, you can buy franchises cash. That's a very important thing to note, you know. And this is Africa. In Africa, we say it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
We are applying that principle in the business sphere and saying it takes a community to build a business. And through community capital, there's so much more that can be done. And it's not just about collecting money. This is what the beauty of it for me is that in the first store that we've launched, it's 14 jobs in there. Our members, we've employed their family members who some of them were unemployed, some of them are working for the first time, you know. Suppliers for some of the things that we had to do to build the store up, and some of the smaller suppliers that are not contractually obliged by the franchisor, we stocked from members of the co-op. So we're building a supply chain of black people who are not only consuming and investing, but they're also transacting, they're also participating meaningfully. Families are being taken care of, and as they say, you know, in a black family, one person working is taking care of 4 to 5 people. So if you think about that from an economic point of view, 14 times 4, you start seeing that, hey, okay, the impact of this, you know. So we've got this vision of 100 stores in the next 5 years because we know that franchising is already proven, especially food, because we are consuming it. So we're saying, let's buy the store, let's buy from the store after buying the store, and let's employ our family members. Let's make this money rotate within us like this instead of exporting the money out. Now we are importing money. Other communities are coming to us to come and buy stuff, and we're going to keep growing from in this perspective. In fact, about 30% of Group 1 members invested into Group 2. So that shows you that people are already seeing the vision, they believe in it, and ours is to be excellent in our delivery, is to prove that black people have got a spirit of excellence, and they can execute efficiently in whatever mandate that is given out there. And we have given ourselves this mandate, and the people have responded, they believe in it, and we're going to take it across the African continent as time goes.
Nice, nice. Now, my brother, collecting 15 grand from 100 people, Bushiri does that, man, with ease. Those are and probably you had some doubts, some challenges along the way. You know, do you mind sharing some of those challenges which you encountered?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest was, are people going to believe us?
Oh, right?
And this is in the planning stages, and this is often what happens with entrepreneurs, is that we overly think things instead of just launching. The day when we finally launched, people were ready. Why? Because we've built the trust brand in the marketplace with all the other things we've been doing.
I see.
When we said Bathabile is a franchisee, people could see it because there's pictures, they could see her store, it's physical, you know? When we talk about THUD collecting money, we've been doing it for the past 6 years.
Most definitely.
People see the success stories, whether you're talking of the lazy Makotis, the skinny Spoos, the native Nosis, the Walkfree. People are out there. We've got proof. You can see it. It's tangible. It's visible. You're like, oh, okay, these guys support entrepreneurs in this way. When you think of our crowdfunding platform, the People's Fund, having done enabled over 250 million, having done over 150 million rand in revenue, it's there. It's tangible. There's black entrepreneurs who have gotten funding. There's purchase orders that are being funded. Government agencies are starting to contact us and say, there's entrepreneurs that we're giving purchase orders that are not funding, and you're going to help them out. So it's about building trust, and business is built at the speed of trust. So we have built our brand through transparency. We've launched all of our companies through social media. It's there for the people to see. People see us from day one through the doubts and everything else. And as we grow from there, then the rest is we will be the ones who let ourselves down. You know, like Bushiri could collect money from people and then he let his people down. That's why you know, his brand goes down like that. So ours is to make sure that we deliver on your brand promise, the rest is easy.
Most definitely. So my brother, with all that's been happening, right? You said first 100 people, they belong to Group 1. And then right now you're busy with Group 2. So now I want to understand, let's say here I am watching this right now and I'm very much interested. Hey, listen, it's like these guys, they got something going on here and the train is moving, let me jump on real quick. Now, do I have to belong to a certain region or place to belong in a certain group, or I can be Group 1? Because I see you guys are putting your first store in Benoni, so I can be Cape Town or wherever, still be in Group 1.
Some of our shareholders are actually in Cape Town.
Oh, okay.
All over the country. I think we've got 1 or 2 from Zimbabwe and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So that's the power of technology. This is where we do not leverage enough as black people. Technology is here to democratize a lot of things for us. Social media allows you to reach many more people than you would have normally reached. Now, We've got platforms like Stokvel, where you can collect money digitally. Stokvels have been digitized. It's a revolution. We own the Stokvel concept as black people in this country, right? We collect money. If there's about 50 billion odd that's often spoken about the annum that we are spending through the Stokvels, doing groceries and stuff. Now we've got platforms that are being built like Stokvel.com that allow us to collect money virtually. We collected money during the lockdown, guys. When we couldn't go anywhere, we all had our phones, we could all transact because we were all sitting on money, and a lot of that money was money we used to use for traveling and stuff. Now we're sitting on it, and we could just quickly transact. In fact, about 30 to 38% of people that were crowdfunding through the Stokvel concept all put in 15.5K up front, even though we gave them a 6-month plan. People had money, so it tells you that there's no shortage of capital. There's a shortage of great ideas, visionary ideas, and people that are trustworthy. So if you're trustworthy and you've got a great idea, you're not going to run out of money. The people are ready to support you.
Nice. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
People sitting on money during lockdown, huh? So now, my brother, there's a young entrepreneur there, young, old, but particularly black, and say, you're preaching gospel to me right now. I'm being moved. And some people are not really fond of franchise, which is not a bad thing, right? But yet they also want to somehow start something like the ones you guys have started. Are you guys going to be venturing to different industries?
I believe in vertical integration
Okay.
and backward integration. And what that means for me is that learn and master one space
Okay.
in such a way that nobody can outcompete you or nobody can beat you in your own game.
I get
So
you.
we will go through the entire food chain from retail down to farms, right? Down to transport. The cars that we buy, we must own the garages for where we are buying the cars that are going to service our own franchises. In the franchising space, for instance, you need delivery bikes. Why do we not have some of our members owning a dealership that sells bikes so that they sell to us? So you start seeing that by focusing on one space and being the best in that space, you're already opening up for an entire industry. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for funding, because actually that's what Stokvels are. It's crowdfunding is a Stokvel that went to private school. There's nothing new about what we are doing, and it's being done in multiple areas. So there are people who are doing crowdfunding in the chicken farming space, in property. It doesn't matter the industry you're thinking of, it's already being done. But if we leverage technology, we can start scaling our solutions. And if we have the right operators, people who are skilled in that space, then things become amazing. So you're an entrepreneur, it means you're an operator. It means you're the one who actually does the work, who executes. Then you have to build a very strong, clear, deliberate vision of where this thing is going and how you're going to get people there. So think about it from a biblical perspective. Moses had to take the people across the seas, right? For the people to believe that they could go across the seas, he had to sell them a vision. It didn't just happen like this just because he was holding a stick that could turn into a snake. It was not enough. He had to sell a vision, and he couldn't speak well. This is the beauty of stories in the Bible. Moses stuttered. He was not a great speaker at all, right? But because he had a very clear vision of where he was headed, it was easy for some of the people, or for the majority of the people, to believe in the vision where things were going. So think about it from that perspective, that as long as you do the homework, and as long as you're delivering quality, as long as you are being trustworthy, you are transparent in your dealings, the crowd that you are looking for is going to back you up. You must put it out onto social media, because that's a platform that has given us access to billions of people in the world. You can be in Soweto, you can be in Venda, you can be in Kuruman, doesn't matter where you are, just with your smartphone sitting there. When you can access Facebook, that is a starting point. And by the way, Facebook is where the money is made in this world. Not on Instagram, not on Twitter, not on LinkedIn. Facebook is the place where if you want to raise money, that's where people are ready to spend on you, but you have to build your credibility. So nobody's going to spend money on you without understanding what the risk is. So be sure to not be the type of person that complains, but ensure that you are delivering, you are being transparent, you're showing people the process, and most importantly, show people how they are going to benefit from this. And if you haven't crunched that, ask for help before you take people's money. Once you have taken people's money, you are their slave up until you've delivered. It really is that simple.
Most definitely. My brother, so now, in most cases, we want to talk about our success stories. People always see. I don't think we post the deals that went bad. The nights that things did not happen as we planned. The setbacks. What what failures would you say turn into lessons for you in this journey? Before you can say we've launched one store.
Yeah. There's been many, man. I mean, I started out in the entrepreneurship space back in 2000.
Oh, okay.
I was 20 at the time. I'm 40 now.
You don't look 40.
I know. You are what you eat. Trust that. You're really what you eat. And it's a lesson I learned from my mom. My mom is a nurse.
Okay.
She's retiring next month. She was like, everything in moderation. Don't overly consume stuff. And I think it's a lesson she drilled really deeply into us. So we don't just eat.
Yeah.
And we eat veggies more than meat,
Yeah.
There's those things, and they really help. And people think, when you are like your body. No, the food that you eat makes your body. It really is that simple for me. So what has happened in a lot of times is that some of the businesses we've started have gone pear-shaped because there's no education. We don't talk about money at the table. Some suppliers that you would have trusted have let us down in many ways. We have let many people down. And those have been the learnings. And over time, you build a body of experience where you start turning those failure lessons into an encyclopedia of what not to do. Especially when either you've taken a customer's money and you must deliver, and you deliver the wrong thing, you must know that it's expensive if you cut corners, right? Those have been lessons, and those lessons have gotten us to this point. I mean, we used to have, when I started THUD itself, which was in 2012, it's because we were going through a ditch. We were going through a really terrible ditch where our business was not doing well. And then started this networking platform because I'm a great organizer of events, right? In starting this networking platform, it was just to get black entrepreneurs to come together in a space where we could talk about our failures openly without shame and stuff. And it just so happened that I didn't know that in opening up a platform like this, the market and people were ready for it at the time. And as a result, we found ourselves spreading like wildfire. We had South African breweries partnering with us the following year, and then we got across the country, and before we knew it, Standard Bank jumped on. We were in Zambia, we were in Malawi, we were in Tanzania. We traveled the entire African continent. We got into Israel, we got into Australia, got into the UK, got into Canada. All of these places we went to, it was because of this thing. So it was a time that was ready for it, but it came out of failure. This is what people don't understand. It was born out of failure. It was born out of the fact that I was frustrated. I was not doing well. And meanwhile, there was a new opportunity because I was giving my entire being into this new thing, and I was not being pretentious about it. So it has given us a lot of lessons, and through THUD and crowdfunding and the things that we've done there, we found ourselves in a space where we've launched together with our collaborating partners the People's Fund. And when we launched the People's Fund, look at where it has taken us. We've raised so much money, we've served so many entrepreneurs. We launched a bank, the People's Stokvel, which is being the People's CFI, and it's going to be the People's Cooperative Bank. Out of that, now we've launched THUD Franchise Stokvel, and the underlying message consistently is collaborate. You do not have all the skills. If you do it alone, you are definitely going to fail. There are people who are great outliers who do things by themselves and succeed, but for the rest of us, normal, natural human beings, find other people who can help you get there, And if you're finding other people that must get you there, be willing to share in the spoils. You can't leverage people and then eat alone. Do not cheat people, do not undercut them with their pricing and stuff, because those are the things that bring about failure for all of us. And we've gone through it where we cut corners, we try and pay less, but at the end of the day, the customer experience is not the best because you have not delivered to the best of your ability. Your supplier is not happy. What you want to do is deliver. It must be a labor of love, but it must be, you must have your head on numbers and your heart on people. And what that often means is that how you serve people, how you deal with suppliers, how you deal with employees and everybody else, it must be based on love, right? And then your head is about numbers. Never undercut yourself when it comes to numbers, never underprice, never do things that are not sustainable. We are in business after all, so your business must make sense, and if you don't understand your numbers, ask for help. There are people who will coach you, and take free courses online, watch YouTube videos around maths literacy and stuff, whatever it takes. Just get your head straight when it comes to numbers, because business is about numbers, and stories are numbers. Right now I'm telling you about 100 people who collected 1. That's numbers, that's a story of numbers. Now next I must report back to you about revenues. How much have we made and stuff. If we don't tell people about that, people are not going to believe in the vision moving forward. Sharp, you've collected for the first 2 stores. What happens now? Are you making money? That is numbers. So as an entrepreneur, you must fall in love with numbers. Do not say I'm a creative, I'm not a numbers person, because that's where failure starts creeping in, and I have experienced it many times. Because I come from poverty, I'm not going back there. Like
You've experienced that. You're good.
No, failure, and poverty. Yo,
Yeah. You should say you. It's like you trigger like you. Before we are done with this episode, this is last words of inspiration or advice which you give a young hustler, an older hustler, a mid-age hustler, confused people like yourself who don't look their age hustlers. You know, what would be the message which you give to them based on your experience, just in short?
Yeah, what I've learned is that everything that you do it with love.
Okay.
And what that means is that we often confuse it with love what you do.
Yeah.
Majority of the work that we do has got nothing to do with loving it.
Yeah.
There are people who are picking trash. So think about the fact that you go to the toilet every day. Somebody is picking the trash and making money out of it. Nobody loves amakaga, you know, but somebody's making money out of it. You know, you can do compost out of human whatever. You can repurpose that thing and make. You know, there's people who are involved, scientists and all sorts of, and they're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Nobody loves the smell of that thing, but it makes you money. But if you do it with love, it changes your dynamic, because then you can go through the ditches. You're not gonna be basing things on emotions. You're going to be consistent in how you deliver and how you serve and how you show up. Because the limelight is 5%. 95% of the time, behind the scenes, it's boring, and you are alone for most of the time, and you must keep the vision going. And then when you never emerge and show up your head, you must smile and you know, because this is, nobody forced you to get into business. You chose it by yourself. And I think lastly, which is the most important part for me, is that, you know, business is built at the speed of trust. And trust is built by delivery, nothing else. Not what you tell people, but what you do. So be consistent in how you serve people, because that's what your name is built on. That's it.
All right. Nizwele Nani, those proposals there, they look so glamorous. But again, it's what you deliver. Now, put on, before we ditch you and I, somebody's like, yo, I got 15 grand right now. I also want to join the third or second group right now. I want to be part of this franchise thing. 2 minutes max, just so that how they can join, how it works real quick.
Simple. THUD.Africa. THUD.Africa. Go on there, you're going to find a banner that says THUD Money Franchise Stokvel. Sign up. Once you've signed up, if you're using Gmail, for instance, get into your promotions folder and check. You're going to get a welcome email. Go through that email. We don't like reading. Read. Go through that email. You're going to see a presentation. Download it. Read the presentation before you get in touch about anything else. Once you've read that presentation, you will know exactly what you need to do. Thank you.
Oh no, that's so okay. He actually left the whole finding information back to you. Street vendor, it's been nice, my brother. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for the insightful information. You guys are doing wonderful work, man. I didn't know actually that you're the person behind People's Fun. I was like, you know what? Sometimes, hey man. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the next episode, and it's been nice with you guys.